Hi, welcome back to another live episode of News for You. We're coming to you a little bit late today, but we're here. Today is May 26th of 2026, and this broadcast is, as always, powered by the South Dakota Dream Coalition. My name is Olympia Justice with South Dakota Voices for Peace, and today I will be presenting this information in English, and then we'll make a little pause, and I will present it then in Spanish. Entonces, hoy voy a presentar la información en inglés, después voy a hacer una breve pausa, y después lo voy a decir todo en español. Okay, so stick around for this message only in English right now. This information has been provided by local immigration lawyers, experts, and community leaders, because we want to be your source of accurate and local information. Okay, so as always, I want to remind you that we need your help to spread this information out into the community. It is more than ever super important for a community to have accurate information about policies and immigration related topics. So please like and share. All of our episodes can also be found on our website for South Dakota Voices for Peace or our YouTube channel. Okay, and also we rely on you to tell us what questions you have around immigration enforcement, new policies, and executive orders. So feel free to message us at South Dakota Voices for Peace in English or Spanish. Okay, so today I will be talking to our young people. So, do you ever question whether you should post a social media status, a picture, a reel, a video, or if you should repost something? For many young people, social media is part of daily life. And you may use social media to communicate and stay connected with friends and family. So you also may follow your favorite artists or organizations, and a lot of people, a lot of young people, social media is their source for current news. And there are many practical ways you can use social media applications. Like right now we're on Facebook, but there's also Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube. And there are benefits to using social media, but there are also many risks. And it's important to remain safe and be cautious when we are posting online. Now, the immigration process has extended to include not only paper documents, but also people's online activity. And so this is where your online presence matters and is an area that may be investigated as part of your immigration case. So today I want to bring you some background information on the policies that allow the government to collect and review social media online activity. And then I'm also going to give you some tips to help you stay safe on social media, okay? That way you can make choices to help avoid issues that could impact your immigration applications. And then also to manage your online presence and protect your personal information. And you have to keep your social media accounts secure. So the use of social media by immigration authorities affects people who have student visas, those in immigration court or immigration proceedings, and individuals that are applying for immigration benefits or permission to stay in the country. Government agencies in the United States like DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of State are monitoring individuals' online activity across social media accounts. This isn't a theory. They are doing that. And so for almost 10 years, the United States has asked and collected social media user information for some immigrants and some visa applicants. At first, it mostly applied to some temporary visas. But in 2019, this rule expanded to include many more people who were applying for permanent visas. through the embassies or consulates outside the United States. And so millions of non-citizens in the United States may need to list their social media accounts as part of their applications. Then, in January of 2025, President Trump issued an executive order that is called Protecting the United States from Foreign Terrorists and Other National Security and Public Safety Threats. And this was giving direction to specific agencies to follow policies and procedures for maximum review and screening of people who are seeking entry or admission into the country. Then in March of that year, of 2025, the USCIS published a notice saying that the agency was going to collect social media handles and usernames of people who are seeking certain immigration benefits. And this included 9 immigration forms to assess potential public safety risks. And then in April, so a month later in 2025, the Department of Homeland Security announced that USCIS was going to begin to look at people's social media activity to monitor for anti-Semitic activity. Okay? So anti-Semitic activity is defined as any prejudice, hatred, or discrimination directed at Jewish people, institutions, or property. Okay, so the Department of State then instructed offices of consulates to review all applicants' online presence for activities indicating anti-Semitism. Now, this year, in March of 2026, the Department of State then announced that there was going to be an expanded online presence review and vetting for specific visa applicants. And it had instructions about privacy settings. So with these policies, it's very important to consult with your immigration attorney or lawyer on what impact does your social media presence have on your immigration matters or cases. So this also means that Department of Homeland Security and USCIS have the approval to collect social media handles on immigration forms for a period of a year, and they have this permission until February of 2027, but it could be extended. So this means that immigration officials may eventually review what applicants post, share, or engage with online in connection with the requests filed through, but not limited to, 9 different forms. Okay, so these forms are the application for naturalization, application for travel documents, parole documents, and arrival or departure records, the application for advance permission to enter as a non-immigrant, the application for adjustment of status or to request a green card, the application for asylum or withholding or renewal, the registration or classification as a refugee, the refugee asylee relative petition, the petition to remove conditions on residence, and the petition by an investor to remove conditions on permanent resident status. So if you're a young person who has an application for asylum, or you are adjusting your status and you're trying to get your green card, you have to talk to your immigration lawyer or an immigration lawyer to see how your online presence is going to affect your application. With this, with the policy changes, the people with these applications are required to disclose 5 years worth of social media history, the total number of social media accounts that you have, and which platforms you have them on. And this includes Discord, how do I even say this? Douyin? I don't know. Facebook, GroupMe, IMO, Instagram, Jodo, Queshu, LinkedIn, MySpace, Pinterest, QQ, Qzone, Reddit, Skype, Snapchat, Telegram, Threads, TikTok, Tumblr, Twitch, Weibo, Weixin or WeChat, X, YouTube, and WhatsApp. You must also provide information for active and inactive or deleted social media accounts. You must disclose whether each account was or is for personal or business purposes. You must disclose your username, your handle, or your aliases. And some people must also provide the social media identifiers of their relatives, including their children, spouses, and parents, even if they already are citizens or permanent residents, okay? So USCIS is collecting the social media information, and because of the executive order that I said earlier, and the reason they give is because it's on national, they are focusing on national security and public safety, all right? Let me see here. So I know that social media is a place or are tools that you feel that they're a space that is free and that you can be creative to post things and you connect with others. But we all have to understand that it's more than a fun communication tool. So you have to keep in mind that it can greatly impact the outcome of your immigration applications depending on the information about you that can be found online. The Department of Homeland Security can conduct free public searches online, which will provide them with information about you that is publicly available. So even if you use social media usernames or handles that don't include your full name, DHS may locate them based upon your disclosure, even though you're not required to disclose your password or immigration application. If DHS has evidence or suspects from your social media that you pose a risk, they can request that the court send a formal order or subpoena for full access to your accounts. Okay, so you must also remember that you need to know what personal information about you is available online, okay? And you can protect your personal information online and on social media by knowing what information like images, videos, articles, and online data is associated with your name and person. So if you do a search on Google of your name or any other search engine, that can help you discover what other people can see about you online. And then any information that is publicly available online about you will appear, and that will include your social media accounts. So this means that anyone who searches on your name can find your social media accounts, especially if your accounts are set to public view. Okay, so and anyone includes any person, place of employment, agency, or entity interested in learning more about you. So this also includes schools, for example. So the information that is publicly online can be reviewed by the Department of Homeland Security, and this can affect how your immigration case is decided. So pictures and videos can often be judged just by what people see without knowing the full story or why you posted said video. So for example, if you post a picture of you with a weapon or with gang-related colors or clothes or symbols, and you thought it was a joke, but DHS may look at this picture or try to offer it as proof that you are a gang member or have committed a crime. So they don't know what context you posted the thing that you posted. So how do you protect your image? It is very important to think about how pictures, videos, and what you write on your posts or reposts can be interpreted. The people you follow, such as famous people, or the organizations you support, can be used to interpret what you like, your beliefs, and your values. So once you post a photo, you write a caption or a comment on a post, you need to assume that all of that information is now publicly available and can be viewed and shared by others. So be careful of what language you use online to talk and how you comment on posts. Using harsh or vulgar language, especially when talking or commenting about someone else, doesn't reflect well on your image. You want an online image that you will be proud of, and you want to share posts and pictures that you won't regret sharing later. And there are words and actions that you might refrain from using when interacting with others as an in-person conversation. So take a moment to pause and to think, would I say this or would I act this way if I was seeing this person in real life? And that can help you, to protect your online image by thinking before you post. And this is a general rule for everybody, not just young people. Also, another thing that is important is to respect other people's privacy. Before posting a photo or a story, you must also think, are they okay with me sharing this picture or video with them or of them? So if you think that they may not be okay with the picture or video, do not post it. If you're not sure, ask that person and respect the response if they say no. You must treat other people online with the same respect that you would treat them in person. If you would not tell others a secret in real life, you should also not post the story or secret online. If you would not embarrass someone in person, don't post the embarrassing photo or video. So follow the same, thought process that you would for yourself, and do not post any identifiable, private, or personal information about someone else. So identifiable information is their full name, their address, their birth date, any bank account information, but mostly it's their address, their phone number, their date of birth, and their full name, okay? And then remember to treat others online with the same respect that you want, because in the end, all of this helps protect your image. Okay, so, and this is hard because I personally am active on social media, so I also try to keep this in mind when I am online. But the internet likes to collect data, and the internet remembers everything once it's uploaded. Sometimes things can feel like they were just temporary, right? Like most online interactions, posts, or pictures, they feel like they're just, oh, it was just like, I just saw this quick video, and you forget about it. However, these things are more permanent than they may seem. Even if the file, photo, or video was on a private account or a private chat, the content can be saved, downloaded, shared, or reposted even without your permission. And while you may want to delete a picture or video that you are embarrassed about or no longer aligned with, you must speak to your immigration lawyer about deleting any pictures, social media content, or social media account. You may be able to archive your posts to remove them from public view, but you should first discuss archiving the posts with your lawyer, and they can provide you with additional guidance, including when you should keep a personal copy of a photo or a post. Because If you have any recent or past social media posts, videos, or pictures that could reflect negatively on your image, or that you have concerns about, you must be prepared for your lawyer to ask you about your social media history. They are not coming from a place of judgment, but rather to guide you and better assist you. So you have to always think about your online presence. And then this ties into like, well, we think that that's just temporary. We need to remember that all the data that you have online is described as any data that's online, that's ours, is our digital footprint. And this is not a bad thing, because everyone that is online has one, but it is your responsibility to learn how to manage your digital footprint. You can manage it by being thoughtful and intentional of what you post, when you check your privacy settings, and then when you decide what you want others to see about you online, okay? And then the reality is that the internet is like this. It's like once something has been uploaded, it may still exist in other forms online. Like nothing is ever erased. And just think of how many posts you do a screenshot of, or you save, or some people save it on servers, and then other people with more technology or more tools, the deleted data can be recovered even if it doesn't appear on your account anymore or on your profile. So always think twice before posting anything. Okay, and then how do we protect our privacy? So you have the control of who can see your social media, okay? There is a significant difference in setting your social media profiles to public or private, okay? So public social media profiles are accessible to anyone, like I said. Public profiles are designed to increase visibility, require no follower approval, and because the profile is public, all the pictures and posts on public profiles can be seen by anyone. And a private social media profile limits visibility and accessibility. So this means that not everyone can see all your pictures and posts, only the followers that you approve. This adds a level of security over your personal information. And then, so I know you know, but you can set your social media account profile to private. So only followers you approve can see the pictures and videos on your profile. And then most social media applications have safety features that let you reject, block, restrict, mute, or report people that you don't feel comfortable being friends with or following online. So these features are there to help you protect yourself, and using them is always a good thing if someone else is making you feel uncomfortable or unsafe. Okay, and then as a young person, it's a good rule to limit the exposure to your personal identifiable information, like your full legal name, your birth date, your address, so that other people can't see that personal information from looking through your profile. Okay, so avoid posting information, videos, or photos with any of this information, this identifiable information. So do not post photos of a document that includes your legal name or your address, like your report card or any other legal documents like your passport, because you're on the plane and you want to show your boarding pass. Don't do that. Don't post information with your home or work or school information, photos that can identify your house or your address. So please, like, do this so that you can help limit your risk of identity theft too, because that is a real consequence of a lot of people who have an online presence. So when you post that you are out of town, that can also tip off someone planning to rob your home. So please be alert, be cautious, and limit your personal information so that you can protect your identity and yourself, okay? So like, it's a good rule to, yeah, it's fun to share where you are, but sometimes like, maybe post after the game is over, like when you are back home and then post all your pictures, or like, you don't have to tell people where you are all the time. Like sometimes that's not safe. Okay, and then use a username that protects your identity. All right, so some of these choices can make a big difference in keeping your personal information safe. So you have to please think that you must protect your privacy as much as you can. Even as a young person, you need to do this, okay? So be cautious of what your name, your email address, and your followers, who your followers are on social media. So you don't have to use your full name on a social media account, okay? So you can use your first name and last name initial, your nickname, and a little, like maybe a character that you like Mickey Mouse 3 or something can be your handle. You can use your hobbies or your interests. So like maybe you like soccer, you can say soccer guy 45 or something like that. And then use a different email address for your social media, okay? So maybe create a specific email address so that for your social media accounts that is different from your primary email address, the one with your name and last name. So this helps you keep email addresses separate for your personal matters, your school, your work, and then you have your social media email address. And then let's see, there are some measures that you can follow to keep yourself safe on social media, and you will reduce the risk of posts or information in general that could negatively affect your immigration case. All right, so let's go over them. Do not post details about your pending immigration case or legal cases online. Be careful of who you follow or accept a friend on social media. Add only people you know and trust. Set your social media profile to private, so your followers are the only ones that you approve and they can see your online posts. Don't post or share through DMs or direct messages any of your personal identifiable information like your A number, your mailing address, or any other number you use to identify yourself. Always assume that anything you post is publicly available, even a deleted post or comment, because they can always be retrieved. Keep your digital footprint clean. Review past posts. See how your digital content reflects your image. Does your digital footprint represent who you are at the moment? Don't share your social media passwords, even with people that you know. Don't use personal information as a password. So don't include your birthday, your mailing address, or any other information as a password. Don't use the same password for all of your accounts. Create a strong password, okay? And then this is a good reminder for all of us. Turn off the GPS locator on each social media account setting. Close any old accounts that you no longer use, and you want to know every active and inactive social media account you have and want to limit what accounts others have access to, because old accounts can show a different image of you. Log off your social media accounts and do not save login information if you're using a device that is not yours, so like a shared computer or things like that. And then this is just good general practice for all of us. Create strong passwords for your phone, your computer, your tablet. Lock your device and make sure that you use a two-step authentication process to provide extra security. And avoid using just the facial recognition. You should use a PIN, for example. Like facial recognition is great technology, but it's really not a good safety feature. Review any user policies, guidelines, and agreements to understand how each application is using your data, because that also includes your pictures and posts and videos. And then regularly check the account's privacy and security settings. And then also be aware of what photos you are posting and what story those photos can tell. So if there's a picture that's showing a weapon or depicts violence, remember that can tell the wrong story about you. Report and block harmful behavior. If someone is harassing, threatening, or pressuring you via social media, use the platform to report the harmful behavior and block them. Also, talk to an adult you trust about the situation. This can be a family member, a teacher, a social worker, or like your lawyer. And also, guys, take breaks from social media. Taking social media breaks can support your mental health and help your overall stress. So summer is here. Maybe try to do things with your friends in real life, or maybe if you have a job that keeps you busy, spend some time with your parents or your trusted adults. Talk to them about your life. So take some breaks. I also need to remind any of our young friends that if you are under 18 and are living in South Dakota and entered the country without a parent, and then were reunited with a relative here in South Dakota, and you don't have a lawyer, you can contact our office and we can schedule an intake interview to see if we can help you with your immigration case. We hope that this accurate and truthful information will make you feel less anxious about going on with your days and your lives. If you have young people in your lives, please have them watch today's episode so that they know that their online presence in social media affects their immigration case. I remind you again, you can visit our website to watch all the other episodes. And I am very grateful that you are here today and every week for News for You. And please keep sending us your questions or your messages so that we can answer them during another episode of News for You. See you next week. Thank you.